Isn't this beautiful? This is my clock. Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Interesting that the clock just happened to go off about the time that I was ready to start this. Now, this isn't my grandfather clock, but a beautiful sounding musical clock that I got while shopping at Salvation Army a couple years ago. I've really enjoyed it. I would just like to show you what it looks like outside right now. Isn't that lovely? I just think it's gorgeous. It's very cold. So I haven't just sat and had a chat with you in a while, so I thought I would do that today. So we've been having this beautiful wintry weather. This is not something we normally have, but I gotta say, I really do enjoy it. Yesterday, something happened that happens every year here, even if we're not getting the gorgeous white snow, is in the wintertime, we lose electricity. So yesterday about 1 o'clock until 4:30 this morning, we lost our power. This time, we also lost our phone service, our landline. Now, I keep a landline even though I have a cell phone, just for the reason that it doesn't usually go out. So we could be without electricity and still have a phone, even though I would be attached to the wall then. But this time it didn't work that way. So I just want to tell you some of the preps that I did ahead of time that worked out really good. Of course, if you've watched my channel, you know that I do a lot of food storage. So food is always available. We have a nice variety. Then I also do a lot of water storage in the house. Now, originally, I was just using old milk jugs, and that works fine. But I am switching over more and more to these rectangular shaped cat litter containers. Now, I got those at a thrift store. I don't have any indoor cats. Even if they start off indoor, they're going to learn to go outside pretty quick because I'm just not going to do the cat litter thing. But the cat litter containers make a nice size container for storing water. Now, I wouldn't drink this water, but that's okay. I don't usually drink our house water either. I usually buy purified filtered water, and it's very reasonable. It's like 35 cents a gallon where I purchase it and refill my containers. But anyhow, those containers of the cat litter containers hold probably 2.5 gallons of water, and that's a great size. So I keep some in the bathroom. That's nice and handy for flushing toilets or washing up, either one. That works out really good. And I keep some fairly close to the wood stove, and that gives us warm water. Not hot, but it gives us warm. If I want it hot and the power's out, I can put a container, a pan, obviously, on the wood stove, and we would have hot water very quickly. If it ever lasts too long, we also have, 250-gallon koi pond, might be 300, I'm not sure. There goes a line repair truck. So those things all worked out really good. I also had bought more lamp oil, so we had lighting. We also have battery um, lights, so I was able to use that. In fact, I spent a nice evening reading in my Backwoods Home magazine. And if you don't have that, you should really look it up. Such a great magazine. If I could have only one magazine, that would be it. Really useful. So last night I was reading about how to make maple syrup, and actually can make syrup from many types of trees, not just maple. Birch sap is supposed to be very healthy. And my son Stephen has actually made a little bit of birch syrup. Now, he said it's a little tricky um, because his kids love to drink the sap. And so if they're drinking the sap, it's very hard to get enough to boil down. But he did say that it has very much a butterscotch taste. That sounds really good. This year, I would love to tap into our sycamore tree. I've also heard that has a butterscotchy taste. It's a little tricky here because you have to have freezing nights and warming in the days for the sap to run. Stephen won't have any problem where he's at in Alaska with those type of situations. Here, it's a lot harder, but maybe this year. So those were my preps. I already talked to you about some of the preps that I did in the greenhouse. I basically lined the inside of my greenhouse with rigid, well, not semi-rigid plastic that is for greenhouses to give an extra barrier in there, as well as some cover cloth, that very thin white cloth. I stuck my tropical plants right inside the bed of my box for thermal mass. I watered everything down really well. So I'm praying that in this weather, my Mexican lime and my Washington navel orange will survive. It's supposed to be several degrees, not degrees, zones for each layer that you're able to put in your greenhouse is supposed to give an additional zone of warmth. So I'm hoping that it will be enough for them to survive. I did bring in my lemon tree, though. It was still in a pot. The others are planted directly into the bed. Anyhow, so if you think about it, you might pray for my plants too. I really do love them. And tonight's only supposed to be about 32, but the following night's supposed to be 23. And then we'll have at least one more really cold night after that, around 23 degrees. So it's asking a lot for that to do well. Maybe when I get the big ones made, I've got some plans for that. I would like to have a compost bin in that, which will generate heat, and maybe some sort of animals in there. I think of things like quail, or could even be chickens, but I wouldn't want them to get in my bed. So maybe ducks, something in there that would generate a little additional heat would be very helpful. And so I'll be doing some research on that. In this cold weather, I want to encourage people to be very careful. Now, here in Douglas County, we don't get lots of snow generally. So we get a little bit, maybe each year. Last year, I don't even know if we had any snow here. We do get some black ice. I just want people to be careful. It's a time of year where people really want to go out and see this beautiful um, landscapes and maybe go sledding with their kids. I understand all those things. They sound like fun. But if you do go, please go during the warmest parts of the day. Be home before dark and let someone know where you're going exactly. Call them when you get back to let them know you're back, so that if you don't get back, they can get help out for you as soon as possible. It has been a sad day in our area in Douglas County, very sad. About a half a mile from my house, they found a body in the river and had to do a recovery. And then about another 10 miles up the road, they did another recovery for a woman who was walking. And I have no idea why she was out, probably last night. Then farther from my house, maybe, I don't know, it could be 40 miles, might be 30 miles. They're looking for people that have been missing since Christmas. They located the vehicle, but not the people yet. Then south of my home, there was another recovery where somebody had been missing since around Christmas. They found the vehicle and they also found the person. So quite a few families are going to be getting some very sad news today. And a lot of first responders and our search and rescue teams, which are all volunteer, have to deal with some really hard, sad things. I'm thankful for these people that do this, our first responders, our fire departments and police, the search and rescue teams, the dive teams, the water rescue, the steep climbers. I'm very thankful for all of them. And I pray for them, for their safety. When we're out doing stuff, we need to think not just of our safety, but how our actions can put others in danger. We don't want to do that. On a lighter note, I do hope you're enjoying yourself this season, because it's short-lived. As I get older, I realize how short-lived each season is. We're not promised another one. So enjoy this one wherever you are. I've been able to be a little more active outside. There has been shoveling of the sidewalk and steps, shoveling of the driveway. So Jason was able to go out and get gas for the generator. And then brooming off a lot of buildings. So Jason's shop, the carport shop, even though it's covered in tin, a lean-to, and the woodshed. So how I've done it is I've just got out there with a big push broom, and I would stand as tall as I could, sometimes a couple steps on a ladder or on a chair, on lawn equipment, whatever I could find that felt very secure, because I don't want to fall. And then I would basically throw that up while holding on to the very end so I could extend the length as far as I could and then just bringing it down towards me. Because I don't want any roofs collapsing. And these are not built like the house is, so they could collapse, and we don't want that. So I've been doing that. Also shoveling out by the chicken yard because I go out there 2 or 3 times a day. And when I do, that packs that snow and it will make it icy. And I don't want to fall. I've fallen out of the chicken house when it was slick before, and it's just not that great of an experience. But I'm thankful that I can do these things. I'm thankful to be able to be inside where it's nice and warm most of the time. And I'm thankful for you who are watching my channel, for you who might be sharing it. That would be a great way to help, that you could help me grow my channel. And if you have any comments, please leave them. Ideas of what you'd like me to post next would be wonderful. And I'm going to go ahead and close for now. I just want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house, out of your house, in the day and in the night. And whatever you do, keep dreaming.